moving on to AUDUSD, we can see on the daily time frame that we've had that break of structure in towards the upside, and this is the current swing range that we are trading within. Now, we did make a connection with this most extreme demand zone at the bottom here, which has given us this bullish reaction towards the upside, but it is important to note that the highest probability longs will come once we break this supply zone. As you can see, supply is still currently in control. However, if we do go down onto the 4-hour time frame, we are seeing something which is quite interesting. We've had this 4-hour break of structure down, swing high, swing low. Even if we were to continue to sell off in towards the downside, I'd want all of these descending highs here to get taken, meaning that this high here is my liquidity target before reevaluating on what I'm expecting next. And therefore, if we again go down onto the 1-hour time frame, there was a potential position that I believe I've just missed this morning based on the fact that it was outside of my trading hours. But we've had this 1-hour break of structure over here, swing low, swing high, we've come down, we've liquidated a significant point of liquidity and the lowest point of liquidity before then switching bullish. We've had a break of this supply zone that was in control, and therefore now, to me, any retracement in towards this 15 minutes or 1-hour supply zone on the 15-minute time frame in towards points of liquidity, seeing confirmation, for me that's a valid long and that I will be happy to take. But with how aggressive we're currently pushing, it doesn't make sense to just take out the weak swing high at this point, but it's something I'm monitoring nonetheless. Now, moving on to NZDUSD, we can see on the daily time frame that we've had that break of structure in towards the downside, and this is the current swing range that we are trading within. Now, although I am bearish on the dollar at the moment in the short term, NZDUSD is not a good expression in my opinion, as we have taken out this significant point of liquidity, and we are swing bearish. We've retraced towards the 50% of the fib, and therefore shorts are becoming increasingly more valid. At some point in the near future, I do anticipate this just to sell off in towards the downside. If we go down onto the 4-hour time frame, what we can see is that we failed to break and close above. This is still the most recent break of structure. We didn't actually manage to get a break and close above this high, and therefore this is still our current swing range. And technically, we now have supply and control after this demand zone here broke. We've had a clear break and a close below, and therefore any retracement in towards this 4-hour supply zone for me is an opportunity for a short. However, what I will do is I will wait for DXY alignment, and when the DXY begins to look more bullish, I think NZDUSD bearish bias will be very good expression.